Within the silence of night, the shadows play. Some bark, some sneer, some hiss, some form together around the boy, encasing him in a chrysalis made of tar, and hang him upside down from the ceiling. Perhaps to turn him into one of these ebony soldiers as well. Who is to say? But they wait. The shadows wait until their leader arrives. And she grabs onto the boy's hair and pulls him closer so he can get a better look. Her claws cut into the skin of his scalp. "Ugh, you her?" Tyler asks. "The dark girl Bodhi met in the well house. The one who sent Sam Lesser to kill my dad." The woman doesn't answer. "Yeah, I was hoping I'd get a chance to say hello to you sometime." Tuh! Tyler hawks a loogie in the woman's face. "How do you do?" The woman's demeanor changes from her once calm indifference. "You like that? Wait till you get a load of how I plan to say goodbye, bitch. Where's Kinsey and Bodhi? Would you? Hey, what are you?" The woman turns on her heel, wiping the spit from her face, and allows for her beasts to nip at Tyler's flesh. "Stop! Fucking no!" Tyler shakes from left to right in an attempt to both free himself from his bindings and distance himself from his rabid attackers. Upstairs, Kinsey is dealing with her own problems. The giant shadow of her fear incarnate whips its tongue back and forth as it uses one hand to pin Kinsey down onto the bed, covering her mouth and most of her nose. Kinsey uses her right hand to try to move the creature's arm as her left hand flails around, desperately searching for air. She knocks her laptop off the table and, with the light from her screen pointed in the opposite direction, the shadow creature somehow becomes stronger. The creature's claw, gripped around Kinsey's mouth, begins to transform from a solid to a gelatinous sludge, and it seeps from its wrist to Kinsey's nose, filling it and suffocating her successfully. The sludge then resolidifies within Kinsey's nostrils, forming barbed wires within it, making it impossible for Kinsey to rip them out without both causing her extreme pain and tearing her own flesh. Kinsey slashes her own claw at the creature, but it's no use. She finds the creature is only solid when it needs to be. But then she remembers her gift from Jamal and Scott. The life jacket. Kinsey pats behind her head for where she placed the life jacket. She didn't think of it too much at the time, but the jacket came with a flashlight strapped to the right shoulder. She finds it and searches for the button to turn it on. Even through its black coat, Kinsey can see the concern growing on the fiend's face as she successfully presses down on the button and turns the light on. Once the light is off of it, the creature returns. It looks at Kinsey, and it looks at the clock on her nightstand, and it hisses. Once Kinsey gets into the hallway, she finds a slew of shadows waiting for her. Vampires, and crocodiles, and amalgamations of horror, mixtures of creatures with over a dozen eyes and no legs that function. They just slither like snakes on the ground, inching their way over to the girl. However, Kinsey doesn't yell. She doesn't scream. She just turns on her flashlight and sprints down the staircase, calling out for her brothers. Tyler is still hanging upside down in the kitchen. The blood is rushing to his head, and it drips from the bite wounds he's received from the gnashing beasts. "Please," he mumbles, exhausted. "Please." The woman crosses her arms and places her hand under her chin. She's enjoying this. She then places a finger on Tyler's lips, silencing him, before raising her arms. From one hand, a shadow of a key emerges. From the other, another. Tyler squints, attempting to make sense of the shapes in front of him. It's a little hard. Upside down?" An arm grows from the shadow around Tyler, and it pulls him by the ear, yanking his head up to a 45-degree angle. Just enough for him to get the picture. Keys, okay, gotcha," he yips. Then, given another second, Tyler notices the key over the woman's right hand. "The Omega key. I know about that one. What's the other one?" The Omega key dissolves, and the second key turns horizontal and hovers from over her right hand to her left. Then, another shadow appears. A small building with one window and a door. "The well house?" Tyler asks. "You want a key to the well house? Why? You're already free. Unless someone with that key could make you go away. That it? And why the fuck don't you say anything? Can't you talk? You talk to Bodhi." The well house dissolves, and the key to it, the Echo key, hovers back to the woman's right hand. The woman then creates a shadow of Tyler's mother, Nina. Naturally, Nina is drinking, straight from the bottle. The shadow of Nina then drops the bottle and grabs onto the key. "Mom? You think my mom has it? Huh. Alright, I guess there's no point in trying to lie. You're half right. I mean, she did have it, but she gave it to me to put in a safe place. So, I stuck it up my ass. You want it back? You'll have to reach on up there and get it." The woman from the well squints her eyes and backhands Tyler. As she swings, she produces barbs on each arm that cut his skin. Fuck! Motherfucker! I can't wait to climb down here and get large on you, bitch. Kinsey gets to the door just outside the kitchen and stops. Shadows from myth and legend attempt to force their way inside. Goblins and trolls and witches, and even a mad king in the shape of an egg. "Kinsey!" Bodhi calls out from the other side of the door. "Open the door!" Kinsey yells back as she turns on the flashlight and sprints forward. The shadows dissolve, and it takes some sleight of hand for Kinsey to turn the flashlight backwards in one motion to keep the light on the beasts. Unfortunately for her, the door is barricaded.
Bodhi! Open the fucking door! I'm trying!
Bodhi removes all the various objects he has stacked in front of the door just in time for Kinsey to tumble into the kitchen. Once she's safe from the shadowy fiends, she asks,
"Are you alright? I'm scared."
"Hey, who wouldn't be?"
"You? What are they?"
"I think they're just shadows. Come to life somehow. How'd you wind up in the kitchen, Bodhi?"
"One of them grabbed me and dragged me downstairs. I don't know where he was trying to take me. There were lots of other shadows too, looking through my dresser and stuff. My shadow had me all wrapped up in this stuff, but he left a hand free. So when he was dragging me through the kitchen, I grabbed the fridge door and yanked myself free." "It was weird. He just gave up. I don't think he really wanted to take me prisoner. I turned on the lights and blocked the door, and I've been in here ever since."
"Did you try calling?"
"They smashed the phone."
"Yeah, okay. You did good, Bodhi."
"Are we going to be alright?"
Kinsey scoots closer to her little brother and pushes his chin up so they meet eye to eye. "Are you kidding? These guys are pushovers. They're like most monsters, only scary in the dark. You turn on the lights and they melt away. That's what's keeping them out. It isn't the stuff against the door, it's the light. That's why your shadow let you go too, I bet. The light from the fridge. Damn, I should have been switching on the lights as I came this way. Stupid." It is 9:40 when two of the shadow fiends find the fuse box outside and cut the lights. Now, without even opening the door, the shadows outside the kitchen are able to phase their way through the solid wood and walling. "Hold on, Bodhi. Hold on." Kinsey holds up her flashlight and pushes her younger brother behind her. Meanwhile, Tyler, still hanging upside down in the front room, asks, What's going on?" His Spartan shadow and Bodhi's wood nymph shadow walk into the room. The nymph tugs on the silent woman's cloak. The Spartan points towards the window, and they all exit the room. Outside, Detective Mutuku drives his car up the brick driveway and parks it just outside Key House. In one hand, he has the Echo key, still in a Ziploc bag. In the other, a bottle of wine, most likely a gift for Nina. From the window, the woman from the well pushes the curtain aside and scowls at the unexpected inconvenience. No matter, she will just summon more shadows to deal with this new threat. From another window, Bodhi is watching.
"It's Mr. Matuku!"
he gasps.
"Help!"
Bodhi waves his arms in the air in order to get the detective's attention. Meanwhile, Kinsey is fighting off the fiends. She uses her flashlight sparingly, flashing it on and off only when she is certain her or her brother's life is in danger. Detective Mutuku hears Bodhi's cries for help and approaches the kitchen window. At that moment, the shadows attack. Shadowy, wolf-like beasts tackle him to the ground. Kinsey's shadow hunches over and lashes its tongue back and forth, baring its fangs. Tyler's shadow trembles its fist, threatening the detective to comply. The detective dropped both the bottle and the echo key. It clinked as it hit the ground. Kenzie's shadow chuckles silently as it picks up the key between its sharp nails and holds it up.
They got him!
Bodhi cries, trying to piece together what he's seeing.
They knocked him down! They're doing something to him!
Around Kenzie's shadow's neck hangs the head key. As the Spartan lifts the detective to his feet, the fear creature inserts the key in the base of the detective's neck. Then, both the shadows escort Detective Matuku back to his car. The detective sits back in his seat, places his key into the ignition, and turns on the vehicle. Thanks for keeping it tuned to Smooth Hits Boston. Coming up next, we're gonna spin that new one by Elvis Costello. Kenzie's shadow reaches through the window and removes the key from the detective's neck. Goodness! Now, what did I come up here for? He asks himself. You're spending too much time thinking about beautiful widows, Daniel. It's going to get you into trouble. From within the kitchen, Bodhi watches it all unfold.
Kenzie! They used the head key on him! He's going! He's driving away! God damn it!
Kenzie curses.
Open the window. I can't! The locks are stuck! Can you?
Before Bodhi can finish his question, Kenzie picks up a pan and hurls it out of the kitchen window, shattering the glass. It clanks as it hits the brick tile, alerting her and Tyler's shadows. She then helps Bodhi out of the window before leaping out herself. Come on, she orders, grabbing her younger brother by the wrist and leading him towards the shadows. Kenzie flashes her light, forcing the shadows to disappear. The head key, now fastened to nothing, drops to the ground. She makes sure to pick it up as they pass. However, once they do, the shadows once again reappear. The front doors to the manor swing open and shadows flood from inside Key House to the cool embrace of the night. Where is it? Asks the woman of shadows. Where is it? Asks the woman from the well. Where's the well house key? The shadows answer through a mental link and silent gestures. What? Who? Kenzie? How could she take it away from you? Does she have some kind of light? Flashlight or something? The silent woman's nose flares with rage and pent-up frustration. I don't care what she has. Make enough darkness and her dim little light won't mean a fucking thing. All shadows to me. She summons all of the shadows and brings them into her, absorbing all of their mass and strength with them. Even the shadows around Tyler are bound by the woman's order. It drops Tyler to the floor to answer her call. And when they all combine, when the shadows all form around the woman, they turn into something, a creature that young Bodhi cannot comprehend.
I can't. Tired.
he tells his sister, huffing between words.
I know, buddy, but just keep running and don't look back.
Tyler looks outside the window by the television and sees his younger brother and sister running from the creature formed by the accumulated shadows. It stands taller than Key House itself. It stomps, heavy enough to shake the ground under their feet, but still silent nonetheless. It wears the face of a wolf and has the body of a man. It has claws sharper than glass and long, stringy hair made of serpents. It wears a crown of thorns, armor around the shoulders, and a cloak. And it has unsuccessfully bound itself by its own chains. Without a second thought, Tyler knows what to do. He scrambles back towards the kitchen and rips up the rug covering the wooden key carved into the floorboards. The carving in the head of the key, a large man with his arms stretched out, standing above and carved attached to a smaller version of itself. It's heavy. It takes Tyler longer to pick it up than expected, and takes more effort to smash it through the window than he needed it to. But it works. A blinding light is produced from the window, and it moves both upward towards the ceiling and down towards the floor at the same rate until it completely severs the house in two. Two massive hands force the crack open, and a giant version of Tyler emerges. He stands taller than the trees, taller than Key House, maybe even taller than the shadow creature. And Tyler taps the creature on the shoulder, lifts his fist, and says, "Hey, Dogface! Can't say I didn't warn you."